What is up, everybody? It's Bobby here with Support and Resistance. I'm going to try this video again. I've attempted to go live a few times, a couple times. I've just had horrible internet connection here at Starbucks. This is my first time trying to do a live stream in public, and not sure if how the audio quality will be either. But anyway, I thought I'd give it a shot. If it ends up being a mistake, then whatever. But yeah, so today we're going to go through a couple of the charts. We'll go through the Bitcoin market, or Bitcoin chart, as well as some altcoins. Give you guys my perspective, where I think the supports are, where the resistance levels are at, and what you want to see happening over the next week or so, if you are long in the market, and what sorts of price action you want to see from there. So let's get into the charts. Okay, and I am working off my laptop, so I'm not sure how the visual quality will be. I'll try expanding the chart so you can kind of see it in a little bit more detail if you are looking on your phone. So this is Ethereum. Let me hop over to Bitcoin here. So if you have been following us over the last, couple of months on Twitter, you know exactly where kind of Brian and I, the other contributor on this channel, as well as trader, where we've been buying in, and there's really no reason to sell. I mean, the indicators have not given us any like situations where we should be concerned right now, as far as things being overbought or being a bit overextended. Right now, I'm gonna stick with what the indicators are telling me, which is to stay long and really kind of let this market play out. Now, last week I did say that 4,140 is a key resistance zone, as well as Fibonacci level. It's the 786, and I did say last week that I did expect the market to reactivate bullish and really test this area of the chart. And right now it is resistance, right? As you can see, the last few days we've been kind of bumping up against this 4,140 level and retracing back. So right now we're kind of building another range, is what I'm seeing, between this 382 retracement at 3,992 and 4,140. So the last, it'd be 5 days, we've been kind of testing this area as support and resistance. And what I want to see as a trader, especially one that is bullish bias and long in the market, this week, ideally, I would like to see Bitcoin break through 4,140, retrace back 2 or 3 daily candles, that's fine, and really confirm this area right here as support. And that will allow the market to, again, drive back up and test more interesting resistance levels, which would be located at this 4,415. What we don't want to see is for us to break through the 618 level right here, 3,865. Ideally, if we do see kind of Bitcoin losing gas and it starts to kind of turn backwards, ideally we want to see 3,992 hold right here. But it's really imperative that we do hold the 618 extension, $3,920. I've talked about this a million times over the last couple of months, how this 618 extension is an imperative area of the chart for us to hold for a number of reasons, really kind of dating back to the 2018 market cycle, where every retracement and extension failed at the 618 extension. So we really don't want to see Bitcoin break through the 618. In fact, I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to end up bringing my stops probably closer to this 3,900 level, just because it's going to be a great profit trade for me, because I have been buying in the dips and I did buy earlier. Secondly, I just another breakdown through the 618 extension is going to signal weakness, uh, really weakness in the market for me. And um, so I'm going to get out. I'm going to get out of Bitcoin completely and wait for the next trade setup. You guys do, obviously, this isn't financial advice. I'm just letting you know kind of how I'm managing it and how I'm viewing the market. A failure to hold the 382 retracement here at 3,992, and then another failure to hold the 618 extension at 3,920 would signal, huge weakness in the market. Um, and for me, it's worth getting out, taking profits, and just waiting for the next trade setup. So anyway, that's where I'm seeing kind of supports, where I want to see near-term supports hold. I gave you where I'm seeing, kind of the near-term resistance levels and where I expect Bitcoin to kind of break through and hold. Now, from a Bollinger Band standpoint, you can see we are hitting kind of the top of the band, but we still have plenty of upside if the market chooses to do so. Let's look at the stochastic as well. So the stochastic is in overbought kind of territory right now. Nothing to be too concerned with. We can remain in overbought, zones for a great deal of time. So that isn't, you can't trade based on that. I'm seeing a lot of people on Twitter saying, "Oh, stochastic's overbought. Get ready for pullback. Get out of your positions. Blah blah blah." The truth is, you can't trade on that one indicator alone. You need to put multiple pieces together, in order to execute a trade, whether it's a buy or a sell. And so, you can see RSI is not in overbought territory right now. It's very bullish at around 67, and we've been holding the 50 line really since February 8th, as you can see here. So RSI is bullish. Stochastics, a little bit overbought, but still bullish. Combine that with us holding, the midpoint line on the Bollinger Band, which is, since we're looking at the daily, this is the 20-day. We've been holding that for a period of time now, and really since February 25th. We had a couple candle wicks below, but we haven't really had a daily candle that has closed below the midpoint line except for maybe 2 or 3 days in this entire sequence of of candles. And so this 20-day has been very good support for Bitcoin. So again, I would expect the 382 retracement here from the previous high. So $3,992. I'm going to zoom in here just in case you're looking at your phones. I'm going to expect this area of the chart to be really good support for Bitcoin, especially when you consider, on the Bollinger Bands, this where the midpoint line lies. So that's why it goes. That's why for me as a trader, short-term market speculator, it's worth for me to get out of the market if this area of the chart breaks down and the 618 extension at 3,920 breaks down. For me, that is very negative. It's telling me that there isn't enough really demand out there from the bulls to, reactivate bullish into this green zone. This is where I want. This is where I want to see the market end up being by the end of the week. Ideally by Wednesday, because that's the call I made last week. But worst case scenario, this week, by the end of this week, I want to see us in this green zone, confirming the 786 as support. Ideally, seeing prices test 4,400 and kind of seeing where it goes from there. Okay, that's enough of Bitcoin. I'm kind of rambling. So let's go to the Ethereum chart and identify the resistance and support zones for that asset. I did say last week as well, $140 is really imperative for Ethereum to show a breakout and confirm the support. And you can see right now, we did break out. We did get up to 145, but you're seeing obviously some resistance and profit taking there, mainly because Bitcoin is in this kind of unknown zone still, right? Until Bitcoin breaks through 4,140, you're not going to see great confidence, in the altcoin market yet. So a lot of investors and traders are still kind of risk off versus risk on, and um, Bitcoin is still the heartbeat of the market, right? So I would advise strongly to wait, especially if you don't have any holdings or any positions in Ethereum, to wait for the market to continue printing daily closes above this $140 level. Um, this is kind of the dumb zone for Ethereum. This kind of tan area of the chart. I'm going to zoom in again. I keep forgetting that a lot of people are watching on their phones, and you're probably not able to kind of see the detail that I'm seeing. But essentially, we had to pick a 145. You're seeing profit taking now, and Ethereum's trying to hold this 382 extension at $140. It's really key that we hold that. Worst case scenario, if there is a breakdown into the dumb zone here, you want to see again the midpoint line on the Bollinger Bands hold at $137. Anything that breaks below $137 is going to be really negative for Ethereum, and you're going to see it quickly, retest kind of the bottom part of this, the Bollinger Bands, which is -2 standard deviations from the mean, right? So for those of you that aren't familiar with Bollinger Bands, it's a great statistical indicator. I have mine set to ±2 standard deviations. That's kind of usually the default setting. And essentially what this indicator does is it says that because I have it set to ±2 standard deviations, if you remember statistics classes 101, this ±2 standard deviations is basically what that's saying is 95% of the price action that you're going to see in Bitcoin, since we're looking at Bitcoin now, should be between the upper band and the lower band, right? So anytime the prices start to touch or go beyond the upper or lower band, that's going to signal markets that are nearing overbought or oversold territory, depending if it's hitting the upper or lower. So a break below the midpoint line at this point and at this stage of the market would be pretty negative for me to see, and I would expect the lower part of this band to be tested. So near $130 or so should be solid support if we do break through 137. Beyond that, you really want to see $125 hold. It's not the last line of defense for Ethereum, but it's an area that because Ethereum did pump quite a bit over the last few months, there's vast areas of this chart that are not really strong supports. Like when you compare the Bitcoin, um, price action over the last few months, where it's been more of a steady growth and confirming lots of areas of the chart as support. A lot of these altcoins pumped up pretty quickly. So if you see 125 break, there's a very good chance we're going to retest 114. And obviously, we're not going to see that sort of price action unless Bitcoin's really breaking down, right? So anyway, if you don't hold Ethereum, I would wait. Wait for more daily candle closes above 140. Really watch Bitcoin closely. You want to see again Bitcoin break through that 4,140 level and really kind of start a new range bound sideways, trading between 4,140 and 4,400. At that point, I would be more confident in getting into fresh Ethereum buys. But I would really wait for Bitcoin to give you that kind of validation in the market. So that is Ethereum support and resistance. Let's hop over to, so what would be another good one? Let's go to Litecoin, since a lot of people are trading Litecoin. Let me blow this chart up here. So as you can see, Litecoin's been following this really nice Elliott wave pattern. 1, 2, 3, kind kind of working a sideways four wave. Now, again, like what we were talking about Ethereum and Bitcoin, you really want to see this midpoint line hold, which is sitting right around 59 bucks. That is going to be pretty imperative. If 59 breaks, you're definitely going to see around $56 be tested. I would expect that to be pretty solid support. Also, mainly because it also falls around the center point of this ascending channel, and you can see Litecoin's held this center point of this ascending channel really since early February. It's tested it a number of times, confirmed it as support, and is always reactivated bullish. So I would expect, around 55 bucks to 56 bucks to really act as strong support for Litecoin. Now, again, just like what we were talking about with Ethereum, a lot of these altcoins did pump up pretty dramatically, and so these areas of support are not going to be as strong as what you'd see in Bitcoin. But again, if you're looking to buy and you don't have any Litecoin positions, I would wait for, a retest kind of in this area of the chart, around that $56 level. See if you can get, some positions there. Obviously, you gotta get multiple confirmations from your indicators. You don't just have naked buy orders sitting out there hoping to get a price. So, trade smart. Wait for your indicators to give you the signals, and and maybe see if you can get prices around this 55 to 56 range. Again, if there is a further breakdown in the market and Bitcoin does, break through that critical $3,920 level, I would expect to see Litecoin really kind of retest these lower Fibonacci's again. So actually, let me just draw it out real quick here. So if we take the high to the previous low, I'll bring this over. So again, if I were looking to buy and I wanted to be a bit more conservative, I would look for, the 618 to be retested. So 51 bucks down to maybe the 786 at $48 to $49. This is a critical area of the chart here because you want to see Litecoin respect this ascending channel, right? So the bottom part of this ascending channel needs to hold. There's a lot of air between, $46 to $49, all the way back down to 30 and then 22. I mean, it sounds kind of crazy to talk about Litecoin prices like that, but again, if Bitcoin were to reverse down, these altcoins pumped up so quickly, that's not unreasonable to think that we could hit these lower levels again, like $32 Litecoin price again. It all depends on kind of what Bitcoin does, right? So me personally, I don't have any positions in Litecoin, so I'm going to be, again, waiting for that 48, 49 to kind of $52. That's where my buy-in zones are going to be, and I'm going to wait for my signals to give me, the buy signals before I jump in. So that is my support and resistance for Litecoin. Let's see here. Let's go to XRP. So XRP has been trading in this descending triangle for quite some time now. This was a frustrating trade for me. I actually got stopped out at around 30 cents, which was break-even level for me. And, just one of those things where I got stopped out on this candle here. There's a big lower shadow wick here. I got stopped out on, and I didn't get back in. I actually got into Stellar, and we can look at the Stellar chart next. But again, if you're holding XRP and you bought kind of in this zone between, let's call it 30 cents to 30 and a half cents, I would keep your stops near the bottom part of this band, Bollinger Band here, which is located just over 30 cents, as you can see. 0.301 is where I would keep my stop personally. You don't want to see XRP break back into this descending triangle. that would be very bearish. Right now it's holding above the center line of its Bollinger Band, so that's good. It's holding above the 20-day, right around 31 cents, and you want to continue to see that hold. There's a lot of great fundamental news on XRP, obviously with adoption and just general utility, and it is one of the more fundamentally strong projects. Technically, though, it hasn't been trading very well, so the market has not supported, the price action. So you don't want to see XRP fall back into its descending triangle. If it does that, that's very bearish. And this pattern target, which is obviously a bearish pattern target, has a target price of well below 13 cents. So that's another thing to keep in mind as well. So if you do not hold XRP and you're looking to get in, I would wait for additional daily candle closes above its midpoint line. Ideally, you want to see it break above and hold this 50% extension, which is located at 0.3127. If it holds that for a few more days and you're seeing Bitcoin also break up through that 4,140 level, you're going to see XRP bulls kind of stepping back in with more confidence. And that's when I would get in. I would wait for Bitcoin, again, to trade in that 4,140 to 4,400 range. And I think the altcoin market will go from, more risk off to more risk on. That's what I would look for. Now, if I'm wrong, and XRP just kind of runs independently and goes, bullish on us, the resistance is going to be the top of this Bollinger Band, obviously. So we're talking almost at 32 cents. So right around the 382 retracement from this February 19th high. You're going to see that as resistance, as well as the 236, which is located at 33 cents. So those are going to be your kind of major resistance levels. Again, you want to support. You want to see this midpoint line hold, the 20-day moving average, which is right around 31 cents. And again, you want to see the top of this descending triangle hold, right? If you see a further breakdown into the descending triangle, that's going to be very bearish, and I would think about getting out if you are long in the market. All right, let's look at Stellar as our last project here real quick. I am long in Stellar. I'm very bullish on Stellar just fundamentally. I think it's one of the top, crypto projects around, with IBM, WorldWire, automatic banking relationships. Also, it's WorldWire's partnership with Western Union. And just Jesse Loom's, vision of the partnership with the Stellar blockchain, I think it's all sunshine and rainbows. Personally, I think it's just a matter of the market kind of realizing that and recognizing that this is, a blockchain that's going to have tremendous utility in the future. And right now, we're just kind of waiting for prices to catch up to the fundamental value. So, anyway, Stellar is in a very classic Elliott wave structure. We are definitely in the fifth impulse wave. And I got in at 0.105 is my average price in Stellar. And I have a pretty large position in it. I've been tweeting Stellar for the last week or two, and just so you guys know, I brought my stop losses to break even. So my stop loss is at 0.105. The reason I did that is because, again, it's kind of like the Bitcoin chart. I really want to see these Fibonacci retracement levels hold. And if they don't hold, that signals a really kind of breakdown in the market to me. And it's just a price action I don't want to be a part of, and I'll wait for the next trade setup. The way I view this is if the bulls aren't able to capture the momentum that we have right now in the market, and if we don't see that buying power step in, to me that's kind of a bit troubling. we do have the upper hand in the market. And so right now, as far as supports, what do I want to see? I want to see obviously the midpoint line on the daily hold, which is sitting at 0.109 for Stellar right now. Below that, I want to see the 618 retracement hold at 0.107. And then below that again, I want to see the 786 retracement hold, which is 0.103, which is below my stop. So I'm going to be out of the market essentially if the 618 level does not hold. On the current daily candle right now, as far as like support and resistance, the resistance is at this 382 extension, which is 0.113. Above that, it's going to be the top of the band, which is at 0.116. But honestly, if Bitcoin is able to break through that 4,140 level, I'm expecting the Stellar Bulls to really kind of step in and take back this market again. This is one coin that has not had the parabolic move to the upside, like you've seen in Litecoin, Tron, Ethereum, and Binance Coin. All of those coins had tremendous rallies, right, in December through February, essentially. Litecoin hasn't had that, crazy parabolic move yet, that 100 to 300% gain. So I'm expecting, and I could be wrong again, so that's why you always trade with protection. But I'm expecting a lot of like the Stellar Bulls to really step in if Bitcoin does break through that 4,140 level and starts to find that range bound trading between 4,140 to 4,400. I'm expecting the Stellar Bulls to really come in really strong, and so profit main ideal targets in the future. I want to see this 618 extension basically at 12 cents to be tested. And then beyond that, 13 cents. I personally think this fifth wave has the potential to get up to 14 cents before we see any sort of kind of major meaningful pullback. So that's kind of what I'm seeing as far as resistances and supports, where I'm keeping my stop losses, in the near term right now. So those are, I think, just the coins that I'm going to go through right now. I'm going to try to do these every kind of few days. Let me stop. Hey there. Okay, so sorry, I'm still getting used to this whole Google Hangouts situation. But anyway, I'm going to try to do these every, 2 to 3 days. Give a quick market update, kind of where I'm seeing resistances, where I'm seeing supports, and where I'm placing stops. Obviously, I always trade with protection, and especially because I'm not, I'm trading with pretty large amounts, right? And I'm a full-time cryptocurrency trader, so I have to protect my capital as much as possible. So anyway, I'm gonna try to do these videos every 48 hours, give you guys a little bit of heads up of what I'm seeing in the market, and we'll just see how it goes and go from there. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.